Welcome to Expats Everywhere. Can you tell us your name, where you're from, and a little bit about yourself?
Hi, I'm Cornelia.Mikolash. I'm originally from Germany, from Hamburg in Germany, and now I'm living in Panama City in Panama,
Okay, what are
in
you
Central America.
doing in Panama City?
Well, right now I work online. I'm self-employed, so to say. I have my own business and work together with my husband here from home online.
And what's it like
We
living and working in Panama City?
Well, the last couple of months we are in a very strict curfew, and today is actually the very first day that everything is loosening and opening up a tiny little bit. It has been a challenge so far, but it's really it's great. We came over here in October last year, so we are now here for 10 months, and 5.5 months of those we live inside at the moment. So. I love Panama City so far, what I have seen so far, and I'm so curious and very excited to start exploring way more of it.
Great. So, in your experience, what jobs are available for expats there?
Well, Panama City itself is very international. It's a hub for the Americas and for Central America, to go south and to go north. But also, I mean, there's a port, the Panama Canal, which goes directly to my hometown, which is Hamburg. And so there are a lot of international companies located here. How the actual job situation is right now, I cannot tell. I know a couple of businesses have closed, but I know it's a good hub for people who work and live internationally.
Okay, let's talk about your job. You're self-employed, so what does a typical day look like for you?
Well, I work with people all over the world, in Germany and in different time zones. So when I get up early in the morning, I work out or go downstairs swimming. We have a pool here in this complex, so we can do that. And then we have a healthy breakfast, some coffee, and then we take care of all the cats that we have at the moment. And then we both go into the office, which is here, or I go into the studio and record something. At the moment, I'm in the living room for this interview. And then we work from there. I connect with people early or in the mornings more with Germany, and then in the afternoon more with people in the United States, and then in the evening with people here in Panama, with those that I am in contact already with. Mm-hmm.
Now, did it look differently before COVID or was pretty much about the same?
For me, it was similar because before we moved here to Panama, I lived in the United States for 4 years. But most people that I started my business with are in Germany. So we were connected already online with Zoom calls, with Skype calls, with WhatsApp, all these different connecting apps that you have. And mostly we met virtually, but we knew it, or we got to know each other in person when I was still living there.
Right. Okay, so an expat living in Panama City, how much can an expat expect to earn?
That's a good question. I don't know for corporate jobs because I have not worked corporately or in corporate companies for many years. Online, there's no limit.
So, what do you think would be a good livable wage for an expat who moves to Panama City?
$4,000-5,000. I mean,
Okay.
Panama City itself is, of course, the most, the most expensive part of Panama.
Okay.
So far, what I have heard, because it's you can go with less, but if you have the expectations and want to feel safe, and so for example, we live in an apartment complex. We have security downstairs. There is a gym in this house, and there is a pool in the house. This is a modern apartment house. You can have that cheaper, I guess. But you can also, you can go crazy here. There are some apartments. I have visited a couple of people. They're amazing apartments, and I think ours is pretty amazing as well.
Okay, so let's say someone's making $4,000 a month. Would you be able to save any of that as well?
No, I think make a little bit more to save.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. If someone has a job and they're moving to Panama City, how much money would you recommend they bring with them just to get started, those startup costs?
It depends on if you speak Spanish or not. If you don't speak Spanish, you will need a lot of translation, or you need connections, or you need people who help you to get things done. For example, we took a lawyer for our immigration process, and of course, that costs money. I would say have 25,000, so to just be comfortable, so you don't have to care about this and that and this. But often things get faster done when you give a little tip here and a little tip there, and then you get the things done. For example, we live here in the apartment. We don't go outside to buy our stuff. We get our stuff delivered. This is, of course, due to COVID, but we get things delivered by people from the farms. I care a lot about eating healthy, eating clean, and you can go into supermarkets here and get it delivered from there as well. But a lot of products are, of course, imported. So, and I love to have it directly from the source. It's not even more expensive. It's actually better for you and cheaper, but of course you have the delivery, and you have to make sure you can get this done through WhatsApp and Instagram and whatever apps they are using.
Okay, well that's nice that that's actually something that's available, so you can do supermarkets or you can actually get it fresh from the farm. That's great.
Yes.
Okay, let's go ahead and shift a little bit from talking about money and let's talk about the weather. What's the weather like there, and how should someone pack if they're moving there?
The weather is wonderful. We have 9 months of rain season. So our summer season is actually I come from Germany. The winter months are summer season here. What means summer here is just that it doesn't rain, and that starts around October, November. Maybe last year it started around end of November, December. And then you have 3, 4, sometimes 5 months, as I was told, no rain. So it's always sunny, and it's always around 28, 32 degrees here in the city. It's very humid. We have dehumidifiers running every day during rain season because, and you can see I'm warm. And then sometimes you have a light wind, but it never drops below 25 degrees. But what you have to know, there are other regions in Panama, and I have not explored them yet, but I'm like excited to do so, which are a little bit higher in elevation. And for example, I've heard about Boquete and that region where they have 4 weather changes per day, where it starts very sunny, then it rains, and then it gets in the afternoon sunny again, and then it gets cool around the evening. So there are different areas here, but there's no winter, and there is one big reason why I wanted to come here.
Yeah, that sounds great. So just packing light clothing and maybe a light sweater if you want to venture out to different parts of Panama.
Exactly, and I would not pack too many high heels, even though that I see a lot of women, and I'm amazed how they do that. And maybe I'm just don't say too old, but maybe don't say that. But the sidewalks, depending on where you are there are sometimes holes in the sidewalks or very high, stones or whatever. So you can stumble. I love to wear sneakers and go without heels. So, but of course, when you dress up and go into a restaurant, I mean, the Latin American women are amazing when they dress up. But pack your light dresses, yes. And when it rains, maybe you have a very light raincoat that you can bring.
Okay. Now, is there anything that you found that you can't find there that you would recommend people bring from their home country?
Mason jars.
Mason jars.
Uh, um, you can actually get everything here if you want to, but some very high quality products, be aware that they are imported, or you get them imported through Amazon. You can order it, of course, in the United States, and then get it to a PO box. Oh, that is one interesting thing here in Panama. We don't have a real postal system. So everything works with PO boxes or delivery services. So you have all these bike deliveries or little motorcycle deliveries, car deliveries, and everything gets just, you order it on through WhatsApp or through Instagram, and then you get it delivered by a bicycle or by a e-bike or whatever. I mean, it's really interesting. Or you just go to your PO box office and pick it up, which has not happened within the last 5.5 months, of course. So everything gets delivered. Mm-hmm.
Okay, would you say that you need to know Spanish to set this up and to do this, or can you do it in English?
We get along with English here in the city, but it's even here sometimes difficult, and specifically when you reach out to businesses which are not international businesses, if you want to connect with the culture, when you want to connect with the people here, with the businesses, the local businesses here, you have to learn Spanish.
Okay, good to know. How about safety? Do you feel like the city is safe there, and do you feel safe personally?
I feel safe. Be reasonable, right? Even in New York or in other big cities, you just avoid those areas where you know you should not walk on your own with a big camera on the side or a big ring or I don't know. I wouldn't walk through these areas that I know are more troubled, I would say, and on my own.
Okay.
I would grab a driver, an Uber, or something like that.
Okay. And how do you meet people, and what kinds of things can you do for fun there?
How do I meet people? Well, I meet people in a cafe. I meet people on Instagram, actually. Everything works here through Instagram and WhatsApp. It's so interesting. Different cultures, different apps. You know, in Germany it's different than in the United States, and now here it's completely different as well. You meet them, and then you connect, you start chatting, and then you say, hey, let's meet let's go for a coffee. Stuff like that. And that has happened before the curfew started. In my case, mostly with expats, with other expats. Or you walk by, we have cats, you know, we walked by a cat clinic and dropped in, started to talk with hands and feet, and someone else comes in, speaks English and starts translate, and then you exchange your Instagram profile, and then you start connect.
Okay, so just being open to conversations, meeting people when you're out. Great.
Yeah.
And how about the visa process? You work from home, so what was the visa process like for you?
We took a lawyer, specifically because of the language barrier. Even in the departments, in the immigration offices, they don't speak English. And maybe they refuse. I don't know, and I don't expect them to speak English. You know, I'm a guest here, and that is an attitude that I would recommend to people when they are moving abroad. You are a guest in a different country, and so get to know the local attitude, the local language, and all of that. So we had a lawyer, we connected with her. She was recommended to us from a friend. And, well, you have to bring a lot paperwork and all of that, and you have to show an amount of money that you have in a bank account. And, you know, one thing is connected and dependent on the other. And it was really helpful to have this specific lawyer because she gets things done. And we were through pretty fast.
Okay, so you would recommend a lawyer. It was a smooth process.
I would. I know other people do it without a lawyer. I think you have to know Spanish with that.
Okay. And how about the healthcare there? Would you feel comfortable getting a procedure if you needed to?
Yes. Yes. There are different hospitals, different healthcare systems, and there are healthcare insurances as well. Discussion when you look online, which is very diverse. Some people say it's terrible. Go to Colombia to get your stuff done, and others would say no. It's a good system. Just go into the right hospital and get your procedures and things done.
All right, now you touched on this a little bit about the location of Panama City. But let's go ahead and have you answer this question. Would you say that Panama City is a good travel hub, and why or why not?
Oh, absolutely. From here, Panama City is a good travel hub because from here all the flights go into South America as well, but also to Europe, to the United States, and you can take boats from here as well, but I have not explored that yet. It's an amazing travel hub, and from here you can also, to travel the country itself, you can go to the bus station and travel by bus. There are buses even to Colombia, to Costa Rica, to all different countries as well. So there are different ways to travel around here.
Great. Okay, before we get to our last question, I just want to give you a chance. We connected on Instagram, so tell us what you're doing on Instagram. You've talked about it being really big in the city, but what are you doing on Instagram, and how can people get in touch with you?
Well, I have my Instagram account is my name, and I actually talk about my tropical life and a drama-free zone. I talk about our daily life and share that, and I have a second Instagram account where I talk about my programs, and actually I'm building that at the moment right now. I'm talking about how to live more natural, how to live healthy, and that is on the other Instagram account. Yeah.
Awesome. So we'll put that in the description below for our viewers to get in touch with you. Okay, last question. What are the pros and cons about living in Panama City?
First of all, I think it's a very colorful city. You have a lot of opportunities here. You can create your local business. They're open to many things, and it's an international hub. As I mentioned before, from here you can get really fast to the ocean. I mean, I can see from our apartment the ocean and the Panama Canal as well, which is great. But the beaches here, and so far I have only seen them from pictures and from the descriptions of other people.
Oh,
you
no.
know, you have been there. And we are locked in still. But from here, you can hop in a bus or in your car and drive somewhere to amazing beaches. You can also go into the rainforest, which is right here. You know, you can drive into the mountains. You have all these different nature experiences that you can explore. The cons. The high humidity for me is first of all the pro. It's great for the skin. All the women, hello. The cons is I have to deal with mold every now and then. You really have to take care of that. So far, I don't have a lot of cons.
That's good.
I'm not very familiar with the politics here. I hear here and there, but I would like to gain more experience and to find out, to give my opinion about that. I could repeat opinions at the moment, which is I wouldn't like to do. No.
Yeah. Great. Okay, well, Cornelia, thank you so much for talking to Expats Everywhere today.
Thank you so much as well for having me.